Hey everyone, this is Rachel and welcome to another scrapbooking process video. If you hang out until after the video is through, there are always detailed shots of my current layout. Let's get going! Hey everyone, so today I'm going to be working with an older collection from We Are Memory Keepers called Shine. This is one where I have a lot of paper, but I don't necessarily have a lot of embellishments, so I'll be pulling in stuff from my stash to work with. This layout is one that I'm working on at a crop in November, so you're going to see my position switch and move to the crop. All right, folks, let's get going. So this particular layout is going to be one where I'm doing a double page layout. I've got, I think, 5 photos, but one of them is a 5x7 simply because I fell in love with the perspective I got those 2 horses from. So with that being a 5x7, I definitely wanted to spread the photos out rather than if I'd used that all on one page, it would have been too much. So this particular layout is about the animals at Old Sturbridge Village. We went actually last year, this time of year in March, for Maple Days. It was super fun. I was sad. I wanted to use those stars, but those particular stars aren't multi-directional. They can only go horizontal, just the way the stars are shaped. So, and I didn't want to use it horizontally. I needed the 12 by 12. So instead I used the other side of that, which is that green. So I'm going to be using 2 different pieces of paper for the left and the right hand sides that coordinate, but to pull in what's going on the left hand side with what's going on the right hand side, what I did is use scraps of paper from all 3 of the papers I'm using over on the left hand side to mat the photos I'm going to be using on the right hand side. Hopefully that makes sense. So I've got this uh, micro stripe with a giant deer head deer on the right hand side, and then I'm using a bunch of scraps. I'm just going to back it with a random piece of paper. Right now I've got white cardstock. I am going to replace that simply because I didn't want to waste white cardstock. And so I've got that tone on tone chevron piece, um, and then the multicolor chevron piece, and then the green watercolory piece. And what I'm trying to do now is figure out where everything should go, because I keep debating whether I should have that multicolor chevron piece over on the side or more in the middle. I am going to end up having it be in the middle behind my photo and just trying to figure out where everything should go. And this is what I end up with liking, with having that photo underneath rather than next to my main photo. I think it helps highlight my main photo, but still gives position to the other photo as well. So at the crop I was going to, they had a give and take table. And so what I did was I went over and just grabbed some random piece. I believe this was watercolor paper and it was meant to be colored in, but I'm like, I'm not going to use it. And obviously someone gave it away, so I might as well use it for what I need it for, which is a thicker piece of paper to back my scraps to create a 12 by 12 piece of paper. A little bit of the branding strip had been left on. It was sad. I was like, I liked the star paper on the back of the green paper, and I liked the star paper on the back of the tone-on-tone chevron paper, but I really needed the other ones for this layout to work, so we're just gonna go with it. Now I'm trying to line everything up. Um, Everything actually is lined up. I think because of the paper I had backing it, it didn't line up with that. So I'm just trimming off what's going on. So as I said, about a year ago, we went to Maple Days at Old Sturbridge Village. I've actually done another layout about going to Maple Days, another actually double page layout, but I wanted to do a separate layout about all of the different animals we saw simply because it was a different story for me. And rather than keep how, because when I did the other layout, I'm pretty sure I had about 7 or 8 photos on that already. So if I had added another 5 to it, plus I was really chuffed. I'm watching a lot of British TV shows, so I've been using the word chuffed lately, and I'm like, oh God, people are gonna think I'm like this obnoxious dork. In reality, I'm just watching a lot of British TV, so I'm hearing that word a lot. About that photo of the horses I got. And like I say, if I take a good photo, it is completely by accident. It is definitely not like, oh, look, I'm going to set up and take the perfect photo. It's like, oh my gosh, that's actually good. So I wanted to print it at a 5 by 7, and I knew if I did these photos with the other photos, it would have gotten lost in its amazingness. Well, in my opinion. So I wanted to be able to do it justice with its own layout. Plus, I think the animals at Ulster Ridge Village, well, I think all the animals everywhere are like ridiculously cute, and it's super fun to see them all. They have a working farm there. The horses they pull a carriage so you can take a little carriage ride around the main part. There's steer, there's chicken, there's sheep. I don't remember what else there was that we saw. There are cows and there are goats and there are all sorts of different animals. I don't think I have pictures of all of them, but and they're just like they're there, they're just around. The one I'm placing right now is the one of the sheep, and it was cold that day. We went, there was some unexpected snow, so they were all huddled together in the middle of the snow-covered field. So it was super fun. Okay, now that I've placed all my photos, and you see over on the right-hand side how as I said, I used the scraps of all 3 of the pieces of paper over on the left-hand side to mat those over on the right-hand side. And now I'm using the cork pieces, and those are from the Shine collection. That's the one. I had the cork pieces, and then I had these clear, clear acrylic, which are 2 words I tried to smoosh into one. Didn't work out super well. The clear acrylic circular arrow pieces. And I use a couple of them, and they're clear, so you don't really see a ton of them. I am going to go back and try to use some more. So I'm thinking about using these gems, and I also think about using the fox, and it's too much. Um, so instead what I do is I go into my wood veneer, and I had just packed a small bag of wood veneer that I thought I might use at the crop, and what I'm going to do is create a plethora of stars. So I'm using my art glitter clear glue. This is what I started using actually at this crop for instead of my Scotch tacky glue. It does take longer to dry, not a super long time to dry, but what it is, it's enough to be able to put down a bunch of wood veneer or a bunch of sequins or a bunch of whatever small embellishments you want, and allows you that time to place them all before it dries. Especially with cut files, I would find that my glue would dry before I could get the papers down in the back of the cut file. I was super excited that it actually worked. I love the way this turned out. I definitely over on the right hand side went crazy, crazy with the stars over by the deer head, but I love the way this turned out. And for those of you who ask, well, yes, but does it hold it? None of my wood veneer fell off in the time it took me to fly home. So I flew home with this, and when I took it out to take the pictures at the end, none of my wood veneer had fallen off. So I consider that, you know, decent. All right, so we're working on my title now. I'm going to use a couple different fonts. First is going to be this Fitzgerald in gold glitter, and then I'm also going to use some, I want to say, yeah, it's going to be the LE Studio, but it's not going to be that blue. I think I'm going to go with the craft color. And I'm just kind of doing the first and last words with the Fitzgerald, and then the center words with this craft. So the entire title is going to be uh, animals. Oh, I'm going to use the @ symbol. So it's going to be Animal Life at OSV. So I thought that worked well, and I'm happy with it. And I wanted to, because I brought that gold glitter into my title, I wanted to bring it into the rest of my layout as well. I have this thicker pack of words and phrases. I'm pretty sure it came out with the first, Vicky Bouton's first line. I bought it from Peachy Cheap as part of like a package deal. And so I'm just bringing a couple more of the gold arrows in. So because I brought the arrows in that, I felt more comfortable bringing in more of the clear acrylic arrows as well. So I think I'm going to add another one of those. I thought I did. Oh yes, I did. Okay, woohoo! I love it when the memory actually works. All right, now I am going to, I have totally forgotten, so let's see. So the problem with me being in a crop and doing this is sometimes I'll start talking, and I thought I caught most of them, but apparently I missed that one. Especially people were really interested in that art glitter clear glue, so I spent a lot of time talking about it and how it worked and blah blah blah, so on and so forth. So I'm just doing my journaling now. And I'm just talking about how it was so much fun to see all the different animals. One of the cool things about Sturbridge Village is the people who work there don't insist on talking in the old ways, as some places, if you go to that, they will only talk to you as if it is, 1832. And, if you talk about like a cell phone, they'll be like, what is this strange thing you have? And it's like, oh, for the heavens, you know, I wanted you to answer my question in words I understand, please. So, but they have working farmers and stuff, and they will definitely talk to you about what's going on. So they'll explain what the animals would have done and stuff like that. Okay, so I thought I was done, and then I realized, oh no, you dum-dum, you wanted to add some enamel dots. So these enamel dots, I believe, are from a pretty old My Mind's Eye collection. I think I took them out of the packaging and never put them back, so no clue. All right, but that is going to finish up my layout for today. Thank you guys so much for joining me. If you could flick me a thumbs up, that would be super awesome. Thanks for all your support. Thanks for all my new subscribers for joining me. And thanks for all of you who still watch me after all these years. Y'all are super awesome. Thank you. All right, folks, bye. Oh, plenty of photos in case you want close-ups. Bye.